Silly. Okay, here we are. Hello,
Yay!
everyone.
Hi, friends.
Welcome to another Wednesday midweek minisode. I think that's the name we're going
Yeah.
with now. Midweek minisode.
Yeah, it's little.
Yeah. Um,
Oh no.
what happened?
Got volume on there. Sorry, I've got volume on my phone so I can watch us.
Ooh,
It's me.
unflip. And
I'm Ange. Hi.
oh man, Ange, how's your week been?
Okay. First of all,
Okay.
good news. My dog groomer is back.
Mm-hmm.
So we only had to groom our dog ourselves once. We didn't
Good.
do that great of a job. We got most of
Please.
it done, but we didn't do the whole shebang very well.
Okay.
So she opened up to where I could drop off the dog at her garage, and she did all the washing, grooming, and everything in her garage. And then I came back and picked her up at the garage instead of going into her house and having everything in her living area because we don't know what I'm bringing on my dog and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
that works.
That was great. And then I did my first, well, no, I did like my fifth weird purchase for quarantine time.
Okay.
Okay. So 2 years ago, I bought this stuff on like, I'm trying to think, it was a Black Friday sale. And you put it on your eyelashes and your eyebrows and it helps them grow. And
Yeah.
it was like really expensive, but because it was Black Friday, it was cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
but it was still like $30 for a tiny little bottle of stuff, like
Yes, the
very
grande
thin, very tiny.
lash and the grande
Uh-huh.
brow and the. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So I started Googling and I said, you know what? And I found, oh, what is it? Oil. No, I forget what it's
Cool.
called. I went over there and I bought a big ass bottle of that shit for $4 from our little
Yep.
health food store, and I'm refilling my little bottles with it. And right now, my eyes, I don't know if y'all can tell,
They're
they've been doing
popping.
really good. I know.
Awesome.
It'll come to me what the name of that oil is. But
Okay.
yeah, other than that, editing videos all day,
Yeah,
every
for
day,
the
and it's getting
for the
real.
cabaret.
Yeah, for the cabaret.
Mm.
So we're getting there. It'll be good.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Good.
Yeah. What have you been doing? Because I know you're still working.
That's what I've been doing, working. Yesterday, my friend Cassidy was over here 'cause she was helping us move the rest of our stuff
Hmm.
out of the other place. Um, yeah, right.
Good.
Finally.
Good. You're finally out.
Yes. So, she was over. We watched some crime documentaries, of course. Um, we watched. Oh my God, what is the name of that girl?
By the way, castor oil is what I bought.
Castor oil. There
It
we
came
go.
to my head. Castor oil, guys.
What's his name? Conrad Roy, and Michelle, whatever her name is, the girl who basically like texted her boyfriend and convinced him to kill himself.
Oh, yeah.
So
There's a thing out on that?
yeah, there's a documentary out on Hulu. It is called "I Love You, Now Kill Yourself."
Jesus.
Um, Basically, I spent my entire afternoon yesterday just getting really fucking frustrated, like
Yeah.
really fucking frustrated because I don't know. A lot of like her attorney was like, "There's no way you can do this," and a lot of the witnesses that they brought in, or like their psychologists that they brought in, things like that. You're talking about two kids who are both on psychotropic medications, and they are basically stating that she had involuntary intoxication from her psychotropic medications, and that's why she was behaving like this. And their relationship was just like toxic and abusive from the get-go. And really
Jesus.
the biggest turning point for the judge that we noticed is that he feels like the jury, or not the jury, I'm sorry, because she chose to not have a jury. They felt that the prosecution failed to prove that she convinced him to kill himself. Like, he already
Was
wanted
going
to do
to.
this. Yes.
Hmm.
And he had mentioned it a few times, and he'd had a few attempts in his like earlier teenage years. So they knew that this was something that he wanted to do, but the problem is that the girlfriend, the night that he went to go basically sit in this truck with the generator running with this gas, he got out of the car and called her, and her exact words to him, by what she tells her friends, she told him, "Get the fuck back in.
Yeah.
Get
Because that's
back
what I
in
was
the
going to say.
fucking car."
He had every intent on doing it, but when you call a friend and say, I think I'm going to kill myself, you say, yeah, please don't do that. Let's
Right.
talk this through. You don't want to
And
do this. And instead she said, you should.
yeah, get back in the fucking car. And like she was constantly sending him things like, you should take a bunch of Benadryl and put a plastic bag over your head, or you know, you could shoot yourself, or you could hang yourself, or if Tylenol doesn't work, you can use this instead.
Oh, so it's completely preventable if she hadn't done or said any of this shit.
Right. She gave him the idea for the generator.
Wow.
To run the generator in the truck. And he went out and bought it. And the entire time she's saying over and over again, like, I'm so happy that you're going to be free. You know, like, think of how much freer you'll be if you just do this. She makes a comment like, I'm going to name my son after you. And I'm going to tell my son how fantastic you were. And, like, basically they're saying, like, she didn't really have a whole lot of friends. She suffered from depression herself. And, like, him texting her all the time and, like, her, like, coaching him through this made her feel important.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he died, she got to play the grieving girlfriend, and that made her feel even more important because people were paying attention to her.
Yeah.
So it was wild. And then she only got 15 months.
It's like a Munchausen by proxy, but without giving your kid medication. Like, she instead, the poison was the words that she used to get him to do the thing. And I mean, that she could later.
They charged her with involuntary manslaughter, and a lot of people think that, like, they were basically trying to say, like, how is this involuntary manslaughter? So you're basically telling me that if you text somebody to go kill themselves, and if they actually kill themselves, then you are responsible for their death. Well, technically, if somebody is texting you and they're in a mental state where go kill yourself could actually damage them. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you're partially responsible. And that's probably going to be like a hot take, but like if people who are watching have an opinion on that, definitely chime in.
And this is not the first time that he sat there and expressed this. This is someone who repeatedly has.
They have text messages,
and then you incur
from 2011 to 2014 when he actually did it. So they have text messages all throughout that time frame of him saying it.
So on a scale of 1 to losing my damn mind, where am I going to be when I watch?
Probably definitely at like losing your damn mind, because it wasn't even, you know what, like I hated her already, but then like I like began hating her attorney too, and her parents had nothing to say.
Oh god.
Like her parents were just like sitting back there, not even like concerned about it. His family is like, we didn't know that they were actually a serious couple. Like, it was fucking crazy.
How old were they?
She was 17 and he was 18. And then by the time she gets convicted, she's like 20.
Oh my god.
And like she's out now. She's 23. She just got out in January.
Yeah. Well, and now she's an adult with that frontal lobe fully formed. You know, like that's the one thing with teenage brains, when you see them doing crazy shit. It's like, yeah, because their frontal lobe is not fully formed yet. They can't. That's why they're minors still when they're under 18.
Right.
You gotta be watching the minors. Someone's gotta be their parent.
Wild.
Okay.
Good. And then what else did I do? Oh, today while I was working, I began the Hulu documentary on the Lacey Peterson case. Where they basically state that the prosecution really didn't have any evidence that proved that he was guilty. Everything was circumstantial, and this man is like now like on death row because of a circumstantial case, and they keep denying his appeals.
Jesus.
I think for me, all it proves is that he might have had somebody else like helping him with the entire situation. It also proves that he took a lot of really dumb steps. Like, why the fuck would you flee?
Yeah.
And also, like, you hid your affair and then continued the affair until you couldn't do it anymore. And then you refused to do a polygraph that the officers basically told you would rule you out.
Yeah.
I know. That's just the shitty part. So, like, yeah, there's a lot of evidence that he didn't do it, but at the same time, like, you made yourself look guilty.
Maybe. Yeah, I was gonna say you did enough things to where you're in a Gone Girl situation. You look guilty as hell.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah, so that's it. What you drinking today?
Again with the headache. I don't know. It's got to be allergies. I don't know. So
Probably.
I'm staying away from wine today.
Okay.
So it's the Sun Kiss. This shit is so good.
The
You
strawberry
guys,
lemonade
Sun
Sunkist.
strawberry lemonade. Oh my god.
Well,
Bought it on accident. It's so good.
we are running low on our wine stock. We have some port out there, but I'm not trying to drink like a 20% wine.
No, not during this.
So I have a Budweiser today.
Classy.
I know,
Classy.
right? Classy. In the can and everything. Like, didn't even want to pour it out into a pint glass, which is like, this is me today.
She's got so many layers. She's like an onion or a parfait.
Yes, I am like a parfait. I am an ogre. Ogres have layers.
Like parfait.
Yes, like a parfait. So, I think before we get started on today's little weird topic,
Yeah. Trip down spooky lane.
yeah, right. Last week, I don't think Joey intended to start a watch party, but he did, and our good friend John was in our watch party.
Ah,
You know, it's John.
gotcha. So we didn't see him because they were
So
going
we didn't see
through the
his
watch party,
comment
not
because
through
the
our
comment
feed.
went through the watch party. Yes.
John.
So last week he had made a comment on the watch party that said, "Sorry for the late input, but the whole crossroads ritual involves going to a crossroads at midnight, and in a box you'll bury various things of yours like your ID, your personal effects, as well as some small ritual pieces. Then a figure will appear. It's not necessarily the devil, but it could be a demon to strike a deal, often sealed with a kiss. And the legend goes that you can ask for anything, and whatever you ask for will last 10 years in exchange for your soul."
Holy cow. Let's go do it.
Excuse me? I would like to live longer than the next 10 years of my life. Like,
Let's go do it. We could get ourselves out of that deal, I'm sure.
but you have to find somebody to exchange it with. So,
I mean, I could think of what's her name? Casey Anthony? I can trade her. Right?
I don't think that's how it works. Let me see how this works. Hold on.
I would like to sacrifice Casey Anthony. That's one of my favorite memes is when it gets to be hurricane season. And they're like thinking and praying for everybody in Florida.
Except for Casey Anthony.
Fuck that bitch. Because it's true.
I'm not saying that she did it. I'm just saying that she didn't not do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that situation. But yeah, so basically this comes from like European folklore, like the same thing we talked about with the legend of Faust. There are also some traditional Christian beliefs where it stems from like witchcraft. Again, you don't necessarily make the deal with Satan, you make the deal with a lesser demon.
Right.
But
There's
typically,
lots of those, y'all.
yes, typically
Lots of lesser demons.
it's in exchange for something that is like, they consider them diabolical favors, which include like youth, knowledge, wealth, fame, power, things like that.
Shit.
And then in that pact, apparently you are supposed to recognize the devil as your master. Which is interesting. I don't know if you watch the new Sabrina series, but that's kind of falls along the same line. Like, you accept the devil as your master, and in turn you have to basically, he'll give you all this power, but you have to do his bidding.
Yeah. Accept Satan into your heart and soul. And then do his ways.
Yeah, and then you do his bidding, and then it's chill.
That's one show. Sidebar. Sabrina.
Yeah.
I love that show. Okay, I think it's fantastically done. It's so cute. My favorite thing is seeing the different groups of parents that are ranting about things like they have an orgy scene, and you don't really see all the sexy stuff. You just see all the people doing weird, sexy stuff. But like that's what they're up in arms about.
Having an orgy, they're just mushing their bodies against each other in
Yes.
in what is it, in like plushies and furries culture, you would call it like yiffing and scritching, where they're basically just like rubbing their body parts against each other without any kind of like actual
Flip knows more about the furry community than I do. That's fun to know. Okay, hold on. No, but they're more up in arms about like that scene than they are about literally everything else in the show.
it's
And I'm sitting here going, these are teenagers saying like "Hail Satan," and what's the one where instead of oh, like she'll say, what is it? Her aunt always says something like,
oh my god, yeah.
yes.
I can't remember
Instead of
what
like,
she
oh my
says.
god, it's like, oh my devil. You know, it's something like that where
Yes.
it's a turn of phrase that we normally use and they flip it every
Yes.
time. So that's what you all should be upset about, but none of y'all are. You're upset about the dumb shit in the show. Right now, I'm sitting here, witchcraft looks cool. Looks
Like,
real cool.
it's
Like
funny,
between
like-
Harry Potter and Sabrina, I'm in.
Right. It's funny because like they say things like when somebody does something and you're like, what the hell? And they say things like, what the heaven? Or like,
Yeah.
they'll be like, for heaven's sake. And they're like, for hell's sake. Like, it's so
Yes.
funny. It's
so cute,
actually
'cause-
funny
it's-
and really cute.
And it just flows so nicely out of their mouths. I'm like, I believe that this is language that you all actually like.
Like, you just go home and say it at night. You're like, what the devil? Like,
Okay. So anyways, you were saying that. I got you off track.
so basically.
Oh god, thanks, Marissa.
What'd you say?
Everything I know about furries I learned from CSI and Lana Del Rey.
Me too. Not the Lana Del Rey part, but definitely CSI. They have a whole episode dedicated to it.
Oh my god, mine's from going to Comic-Cons.
No, where they yiff and scritch and they like put like pheromones on people, and that's how basically in your furry piles, that's how they make furry piles more intense by putting the pheromones on people and stuff.
Good to know.
Didn't know if you wanted to know it, but now you do.
No kink shaming. Sounds good. If that's what you're into, you're into.
And that's, yeah. So they say that this pact can either be oral or written, and any oral pacts are made through invocations, conjurations, or like other rituals to attract a demon. And then once the demon is present, they'll ask for whatever the favor is in exchange for the soul, but there's no evidence left behind of the pact.
Okay.
She said furries were gross and not even people.
Is that what Lana Del Rey said?
Wow. Not
Holy
cool.
shit.
Not cool, man. Not cool.
They are people in suits.
They're just people in suits. Like, not cool. Like, this also has some kind of stuff like back to the witch trials where they were saying that like there were packs left, like the witch's mark was left.
Oh, and in reality, there's no mark.
There's
left.
no mark left. Like,
Good to know.
the devil doesn't stem up out of the ground and like draw a pentagram on your chest and be like, "You're the one." Like,
Branding is like, you're mine.
it's
Thanks.
literally not how that works. But essentially, like, you can also do it with demons too. Like, demons can also make these pacts with the devil, which is weird to me because you're already a fucking demon. So
Maybe they need more power.
I guess the demon in the corner of my room can explain it to me later on tonight when
She says these things so casually. This is real. What if he's there?
when he paralyzes me.
Tempted.
Well, I'm having sleep paralysis. He'll like let me know how it goes.
Y'all, if we lose Flip before Sunday, we know exactly what the hell happened. She shared the secrets of the demon world, and then they took her.
They probably did. For all I know, I could be a demon. That's what my friend once told me. I told him about my sleep paralysis incident where I literally saw and felt something crawling on my chest.
No.
And I sat up in the middle of the night and told my mom that I was okay, which I have no recollection of. I just solely remember this thing sitting on my chest. So all my friends thought I was possessed. No, I was like 17.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say this shit happens to kids all the time. 17, that's legit. Have you seen
Casual.
the man with the hat?
No.
We need to get into this one day. I haven't seen the man with the top.
No, I've never seen that before. Only in the shows. Oh, okay.
So we're gonna talk about this curse.
Yeah, go ahead, Ange. Take it away.
Hi, friends. Okay, so like I said, we've been editing videos all day, so I kind of had Trevor read me the Wikipedia page real quick to give me an overview. And I sat there and said, "Oh my God, that was in one of the plays we did." And the reference I was thinking about in the play was from the play Actually. And the guy in the play is really into classical music, and
Yeah.
he's talking about how Bart died before he could complete one of his piano concertos. And the piano concerto was going to be a surprise for his wife. And I mean, he did surprise her. It just wasn't in the way that he had planned
Right.
because he died. However, Bartok's was the third piano concerto. Today, we're talking about the curse of the ninths. And that is the idea that it's a superstition connected with classical music in that a composer will 9 symphonies. Once he starts to write, he will not be able to finish a 10th, period. He will die either at the completion of the 9th or before he can finish the 10th. And there's tons of examples of this, of course, going through here. And the reason we're bringing this up is because our season 2 that we're talking about is the 27 Club. And it's the idea that a lot of these rock and roll superstars die at age 27. And so these are composers that die before they can complete their 10th symphony. Now, before we get into all of that and go through that whole list and stuff, I found, let me see, hold up. It was, have you ever seen the show Midsummer Murders?
I don't think so.
I think it's on Amazon, and it's a British procedural, and it's been around for a long time. So in season 19 episode, it's called hold on, it's something Curse of the Ninth. It's called The Curse of the Ninth is the name of the episode. There you go.
Oh, okay.
And a prize-winning violinist is killed with his violin stolen, and they must sort through a myriad of suspects to figure out the real killer. And it's the idea that this guy's being nominated for an award. He's in the process of doing his 10th symphony, and then he gets murdered. And was it just the Curse of the Ninth? Is this something that the small town detectives have to figure out? Someone killed him for whatever. So yeah, that's the only one I found as far as searching for plays, movie references, book titles, anything like that mention this curse. Is that episode of Midsummer Murders?
There is also an episode of Ghost Whisperer that mentions it too, I think.
I used to watch that entire show.
Yeah, I think there was another episode of Ghost Whisperer that says something about it.
Yeah, and then I found, this is from 2014, Beating the Curse of the Ninth. Peter Maxwell Davies. He wrote his 10th symphony, and this gets fucked up. Okay, so 2 years before this article was written, he produced a 9th symphony, and everybody was asking him repeatedly, shouldn't he be worried about the curse? And they explained it as, it's a long cherished myth, I don't know, it's cherished, of classical music, claiming that if you manage to write 9 symphonies, you probably will not live to complete. So this man is he's famously rational for being a creative artist, and he laughed at the idea. And then he collapsed and was taken to the hospital. He had cancer. But the curse didn't get him. Laying in bed, weak from successive bouts of chemotherapy, he forced himself to go to work writing Symphony Number 10. And then when this article was written, it was the Sunday night before that. It had its premiere by the London Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Antonio Pappano and with Mr. Davies in it. So he beat the curse. He was able to see his 10th symphony come to life and be there.
Marissa had asked if there are any others in the 27 Club that have been rumored to have sold their soul to the devil, or does that solely stem from Robert Johnson?
Right.
So a little bit about this is that people believe that rock and roll is basically the genre that is driven by the supernatural and the occult. So in saying that, most of the people that we're talking about that are musicians here are going to be rock musicians. And there's the idea that from like Robert Johnson stemmed what is now known as the devil's music. So every musician who plays the devil's music could meet this untimely death. So they're not necessarily saying that all these people have sold their soul to the devil. They're just saying that they're continuing on Robert Johnson's tradition of, you know, playing the devil's music. But it's also very interesting because we made the comment again last week where we had said that in order for you to basically get your life back or get your soul back, you need to find someone else to pass that curse on to.
Yes, Casey Anthony.
Right. She would pass it on to Casey Anthony. So is it possible that Robert Johnson's soul is finding other people to add this curse onto? So you take it from Robert Johnson and then you move it to Jimi Hendrix and then you move it to Janis Joplin and you move it to Jimmy Morrison and you move it to Pigpen and Kurt Cobain and Amy Winehouse, and it just spirals down the line.
We're officially copywriting this episode because we're going to write that stage show. Thank you so much.
We are totally going to have to copyright this. I swear to God, if any of you steal my idea, I'm going to be pissed.
This is going to be the best musical you've ever fucking...
Bo, I know that you're watching this right now. If you steal my idea, I will haunt you from my grave. If I die before you.
Who's the guy that wrote Hamilton?
Lin-Manuel.
Okay, contact him right now because we're going to have him help us put together the music and everything, but this is our idea.
Yes, we did it.
And we're going to string together that storyline. Oh my God. What a trip. What if that's true? Well, he can't really... Two of them were alive at the same time. He was only in one of their bodies. Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin, right?
We're alive at the same time, yes. And Jimmy Morrison.
Okay.
We're all alive at the same time. But that doesn't mean anything.
That's true. No,
if you kill this person in order to take their soul, the devil takes their soul, and you continue to get, and then you pass it down the line.
Just keep hopping.
Because the way it's supposed to work is like, I sell my soul to the devil, I find somebody else's soul to replace mine, I get my soul back. They don't necessarily say that you continue to live. They just say you get your soul back.
See, you can pop your soul in that other soulless body and go about walking in those boots.
Or I get my pure soul back and the devil gets to take somebody else's, and then they find somebody else to say, here, sacrifice them. They get their pure soul back, and then it moves on to the next person.
Awesome. Okay.
Coming soon. Coming like what, 2022. Ange and I are gonna write this play.
Absolutely.
Passing
Get ready
the
for
demon
it.
along like Denzel and Fallen. Yes.
Yes.
I promise I won't write a mock-up tonight. Send me that. Bo. Don't steal my show, bro.
What was I? Okay. So, let's see. Back to this Curse of the Ninth. Okay. So, we're not going to go through all these names because I cannot pronounce most of them. But your most famous example. Do you know who it is, Flip? Who the most famous one is?
Beethoven?
You're Ludwig von Beethoven. Let's see. Okay, so this is fun. The folk notion persists in popular journalism, of course. And so they're always writing about it and like asking famous composers, do you believe in this myth? Blah, blah, blah. It is not supported in musicology or other serious music criticism. That's blatantly on this Wikipedia page. Though composers can indeed be found who died after achieving 9 symphonies. So that most famous example is Beethoven. 9 is not a statistically predominant total in history of symphonies. In addition, while some other prominent composers like Schubert, Spohr, Mahler, Williams, and some other ones I can't pronounce are regularly adducted as examples, several of them are only credited as having, quote, composed 9 symphonies as a result of error or oversimplification. And there's all sorts of technicalities and bullshit on this where they go through and say, let's counter examples of where all these different composers have written more than 10. And like Peter Maxwell Davies wrote 10. Hans Werner Henze wrote 10. Schumann 10. His first two were withdrawn. And then later they found them and added him and said, oh, look, he did do 10. Who's this one? Philip Glass, 12 as of 2019.
Philip Glass.
Philip Glass. Hey, we know a skit about that name.
Bo says it's also the plot of Pirates of the Caribbean. Only kind of Bo.
Yeah, loosely. Okay. Lev Kip. Lev. It's Knipper. So Kipper or Nipper. Knipper.
Wow. Nipper.
Whatever.
Oh,
20.
Nipper.
Wrote 20. So and Henry Cowell wrote 20. Sergei Slonimsky wrote 34. Derek Bourgeois wrote 116. Lee Segerstam wrote 337 as of January 2020. So, of course, some of these composed more than 9 published symphonies after Beethoven and during the 19th century. But that's one of those, maybe that curse got broken. Maybe at some point someone made a deal and said, how about we quit killing composers? And the devil said, all right, fine. And so we've all, or, just life expectancy in general, overall
at the
health,
time,
stress
a
levels
lot
of
of
people.
these people. Yes.
Yes. And then right here on the little corner, see also the 27.
Mm-hmm. But
I thought that was fun.
Philip Glass is from All in the Timing. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's super interesting because a lot of people basically say that this I really keep wanting to say Circle of Ninth, but that's not what this Curse of the Ninth starts with Mahler, which he finishes his 9th symphony and starts working on his 10th, and then he gets pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that time, he doesn't know about like Schubert and all these other people, because at the time that he was working on his 9th, Schubert would have been working on his 7th, or maybe it only affects geniuses. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
something in the brain that just stops at a certain point.
Right. And then there's a ton of composers who have written more, like Haydn, who did 104, and a lot of people say that this has nothing to do with anything and is just Mahler trying to create some kind of like angst behind the reason why he couldn't create his 10th symphony.
I mean, why not?
I like the idea that he's just pissed off and he creates this curse and he's like, don't write any more symphonies than me or you'll die.
I know. But y'all, that's how curses work. You sit there and you put a thing out in the world and you say, you're cursed if blah, blah, blah. And that's when, like, I really need to look more into it. But why is that whole Macbeth in the theater a curse? Like, you can't say the name Macbeth in a theater.
It stems from the original, like, productions of it. Basically, like, shitty things were happening to people. Bo, you can kind of, like, chime in on that. But
tell us about that Macbeth curse.
From what I've been told, it's just, like, they were putting on the production and, like, they consistently had bad luck with the production. I don't know, man.
Okay, what else do you have on the Curse of the Ninth? Because when you said something Circle of the Ninth, I was like, isn't that a Johnny Depp movie? But that's something else. With Ninth Circle or something like that. I don't know.
Johnny Depp movie.
Johnny Depp. Ninth Gate. There you go.
Oh.
I saw that in theaters. Back in 1999, I saw Ninth Gate in theaters. It's okay. It's not the best thing ever.
I don't know. I think it's just something that I want to say a lot is Circle of Ninth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless, of course, we're talking about the 9th Circle of Hell. That's sorry.
That's a fun place.
Bo says that witches curse the production.
Thank you. See? Another curse. Curses.
But I mean,
I know.
Yeah, because, you think about, like, 9 Circles of Hell. Ninth Gate, Marissa says. That was the movie, Ninth Gate.
Yes. Because they objected to the use of actual incantation.
something from the Putnam County tax collector. Sorry, people are texting
Stop
me
it.
right
We
now.
are podcasting. Okay. So basically that's the idea of the ninth, the curse of the ninth, is that
Right.
you're a composer, you're gonna die before you can finish your 10th. Even though it's now been quite proudly disproven that that's not true. But if you decide to start composing right now, beware. There's a curse of the ninth. You're gonna get through 9 of them, then you're gonna die.
What do you mean what's going on?
Okay. So then let me see
Yeah.
what else. There were others. And
Oh my
then the
God.
beginning. So you talked through the beginning of
Might be.
Gustav Mahler. He was the first one that started this whole thing.
Yes.
And then, let's see.
Oh
Yeah, it goes. I was going to say the main article I found, of course, is on Wikipedia. And then you can go through all these other little fan websites and other people that sit there and really focus on this. Kind of like with the 27 Club. There's going to be a main list of what happened with all of the brackets, but then you're going to have people that go on one or two of their favorites and
Right.
really go down into why they think this is real.
I think there's also a lot of people who think that this curse is not necessarily about not being able to complete your 10th symphony, but they discuss, like, if you complete 9 symphonies, you will likely die relatively close to after completing your 9th.
Mm-hmm. Curse of the Ninth. So yeah, that's basically all the info I had.
And there's really not too much
not a
about
lot.
it. Just that, a lot of your favorite composers, this is what happens to them. Oh,
Yeah, so go through and see how many of your favorite composers died after their 9th before their.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's really it.
Okay. Yeah,
Like we
I was
said,
gonna say this is
midweek
why it doesn't-
minisode.
Yeah, just checking in, saying hi. That's why we didn't put up a whole bunch of ads or anything saying that we were coming on today. We know that if you guys listen to the Sunday show, we're popping in on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Mhm. And if you're new here, I think we have maybe 1 or 2 people that are new here. In your feed, as you're watching this, you're going to see little things that say something about, do you have friends who should see this? Maybe you should share it with them. Please feel free to do something. Say something so that we know you're here. Please feel free to comment so that we know you're here. And then usually the first one you'll see is get notified when Crushed and Pressed podcasts go live now. And then turn that on. Because why not? And that way, every time we do go live, let's say you're on your phone, you'll get a notification right away that, hey, we're going live. And us, it'll be like 1 or 2 minutes of that little hold screen before we pop up.
Yep.
So you got time to go grab your beverage, go to the bathroom, and then sit down and hang out.
Yes. Bo also says that the witches cursed the production because they objected to the use of actual incantations. Lady Macbeth died, so Shakespeare had to play the part. And also in one of the productions, they used real daggers and they killed Duncan. And in a production in 1849, over 20 people died during the run of the production.
And we chose to do that as our first Shakespeare in the goddamn part.
Yeah, but none of us died.
Oh, thank God.
I was in it. Like, nobody killed me.
Thank God. Because you're one of the damn witches.
I was a witch.
She's one of them double, toil, trouble ones.
Bo said it
Jeez,
could have been
legit.
Earl. It could have been Earl, man.
That's why Victoria, bless her, has health problems every time we do Shakespeare now. She spent the last half of Romeo and Juliet in a neck. Like a champion. She finished that show.
That is very true, Marissa. I don't think that the Circle of Knights has anything to do with selling your soul to the devil. Just putting that out there.
No.
She said that we said that people who sell their souls to the devil get their wish for 10 years and composers can't finish their 10th symphony. The coincidences. Yeah, there's no coincidence behind that one. That's solely just like random musical curses that people talk about.
All about lore.
It is just all about lore. Honestly, I think that the Curse of the Ninth is bullshit. I think that it was just a shitty time period and that people died from all kinds of shit. Pneumonia is fucking common.
Yeah.
Or
it's one of those, you know how, like, okay, so my mom will go to a grocery store or something and she's always like, make sure you lock your door, don't leave your purse in the car, don't blah blah blah. And I go, if you don't put this energy out there into the world, it won't happen. But she's always so worried about stuff getting stolen, and she constantly gets stuff. I, on the other hand, am blissfully unaware that anything could happen to me. And so a lot of the time I do dumb shit and nothing happens. But I think it's because I'm not putting out that energy of, oh my God, this is going to happen. So if you're a composer and you are working yourself about trying to finish that 10th one, you're going to die. And you brought that on yourself.
Right. That's how I feel about that. I have, which is funny that I say like this is complete bullshit, but like 27 Club is like
possible.
Selling your soul to the devil is 100% possible, you guys. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
How old is Taylor Swift? Is she 27 yet?
I don't know.
She's kind of wholesome. I think she's fine.
I don't listen to Taylor Swift, so.
Apparently, I'm secretly a fan. It's one where her, who was the other one? Jesus, there was some boy band all the time that every time one of their songs came out, I was like, this is catchy. Who is this? And it was always the same one. I don't want to like them.
One Direction?
I like this song.
Is it One Direction?
One Direction. It was One Direction.
Yeah, I'm not really into that kind of stuff.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't expose myself to it on purpose, but I volunteer with teenagers. Right. And so every once in a while, and there's a Justin Bieber Christmas song that is super catchy. And I do not like Justin Bieber, but I like that song. And every time they're like, it's Justin Bieber. And I'm like, okay, I take it back. I don't like it anymore. But yeah, Taylor Swift every time. 30.
Samantha,
she passed it. Thanks, Sammy. She made it.
Didn't know that. But that's...
It's because her cat's named after Detective Olivia Benson from Law & Order SVU.
Is it? That's adorable, honestly.
I know. She does have the cutest cat in the world. Whatever. I like her.
All right, so I guess we can do our Wednesday game.
Oh no. It's a game, guys. It's a game.
It's our Wednesday game. Mistletoe by Justin Bieber.
It's that one.
Yo, Samantha is reading your fucking brainwaves right now.
This is why I keep her around. She's a gem. I love this kid. She's wonderful. I'm telling you.
All right, hold on. Let me pull it up.
Oh, I got you. I got autocorrect missile.
Listen, it's okay. Hello, Joby. Joby is here now.
Joey, go away. We're podcasting. You can't listen. This is private. We're having a private conversation. Right. It's us and our closest friends.
All right. So, in our musical Q&A that we're going to play, Samantha says she loves you.
I love you too.
In our musical Q&A that we're going to play, last week Angela asked me a lot of questions about my life growing up. So, Angela, what was the last song that you listened to?
Oh, hold on. I've got this. Into the Unknown from Frozen 2, because that's the video we're editing for Caitlin is singing.
Okay.
And we're going through and adjusting sound and adding in the name placards and stuff before everybody. And and it's in my head. We walk the dog and that thing is in my head, and I have not seen Frozen 2 yet.
What is a song that you absolutely hate? Like you dislike the song?
Damn. I don't know. Okay, no, there's still one song that I just can't stand. And it's from, hold on, how long ago was this? Almost 10, 11 years ago. And every once in a while it pops up, and I don't know who friggin' sings it. It's a rapper. And the main catch is in a milli.
Oh, it's by Lil Wayne, and the name of the song is A Milli.
I fucking hate that song. I cannot stand that song. Oh my God. And it was on the radio constantly. Like, and it was working at JCPenney, and every time I took a drive out, took a drive back, it was there. And then I had a shower radio, and every time I got in the shower, that friggin' song came on. There's something with the tone and the repetition that I just can't handle, and it makes me to the point where I just want to throw the radio across the room. I just can't. No, can't do it.
Who is, I already know the answer to this, and I think everybody in the audience knows the answer to this, your favorite musical artist?
I'm going to give 2 seconds for everybody in the audience to guess.
Bo says blasphemy to your A Milli hate. Get out.
It's stupid.
Get out.
It's stupid. Go ahead, karaoke next time. You freaking do it. see how
Probably
quick I hit you.
will.
Okay. Now, artist or band, there's two.
Your favorite artist? Well, you can give me both. That's fine.
Okay. Artist. Number one artist of all time.
Mm-hmm.
God. And I hate having to say this now that it's much disgraced. Michael Jackson.
Okay.
I love his music very much. And I
Yes.
loved him so much as a child. And growing up, I adored that man. And when he died, I don't think Les is on here. Les is in a private group. Anyways, my friend Les called me. I had gotten home from work and he called me on the phone and said, have you heard? And I go, I don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, stop it, Bo. So Les called me and goes, have you heard? And I go, have I heard what? And he goes, where have you been all day? And he goes, please sit down. And I said, and he goes, Michael Jackson. And I had no idea. And he goes, I felt that you needed to call because I know he's like family to you. Because at the time, Michael Jackson was like family to me. And I just lost my shit. And I called my mom and she answered. She goes, honey, are you okay? And she goes, honey, I know it's very sad. I know. And I was like, my mom, we loved him so much. My mom went to the library and checked out a biography on him to figure out how tall he was. So in our doorway at the front door where you have little tick marks on how tall you are, we had a tick mark for Michael Jackson because we needed to know how tall he was.
Makes
and
sense.
then we had all of the albums memorized. We loved him very much. Much disgraced. So that was artist. Band?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Hanson. Oomba.
And what is your favorite musical genre?
Catchy music. Okay, I can't narrow that down. It's going to be anything that I can sing it to, basically, and that goes across so many different genres. I really can't.
Okay.
I like all of them, but if I can get a good beat and I can clean to it, I can dance to it, I can sing along to it, I can annoy somebody in the car, then I like it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, last song I listened to was Midnight by Iration. I love Iration.
I don't even know who that is.
Well, pull up your Apple Music and search Iration.
Can you spell that for me?
IRATION. Iration.
I got it. What's the song called?
This one is called Midnight, but they have a ton of really good songs. Time Bomb is good. What else do we listen to? Joey says Time Bomb was the last song by them that we listened to. Their Hotting Up is a really good album. Here, I'll pull this right up for you so you can hear about all the bomb songs. So Summer Nights is good. I Like Fallen. That's a cute little song. They're like Wait and See is a good one too, and Turn Around. They're like ska music. So they're fun.
That's catchy.
Yeah, it's catchy, it's fun.
Yeah.
I forgot about this one. What song are you currently obsessed with?
Come back to me.
Okay.
Keep answering your questions.
So I'm gonna skip over that one too. A song that I dislike. Song that I dislike that I'm just like, turn that shit off.
Bless you.
He's got the Rona.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. He's got allergies.
I don't think I can think of a song that I'm just like, ugh, I cannot listen to that.
Let's test those limits. How you like Bop?
It's fine.
It's fine, right?
Yeah.
Everybody likes it.
Do I have a song that I just absolutely cannot stand listening to? Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Since doing karaoke, I would say that Picture is a song that I just cannot fucking listen to any longer. Everybody has destroyed it for me. I want to like put pens in my eardrums every time somebody sings it. It drives me insane. And you know what? It's not even that good of a song, so why the fuck do people keep requesting it?
I didn't realize it was still a thing until I went to the first karaoke night with y'all and
And
somebody did, and I was like,
yes.
oh, I forgot
And
about that
like
song.
people do it, we'll do it like twice in one night.
No,
Like
no, it's not
as
that
if it wasn't
good.
bad enough that I had to hear it once and you butcher it. Like
There's other duets.
yeah, it's
That's not the only
when
one.
people come in and they sing a duet, they are singing Picture or they're singing Summer Nights. That's it. Those are the only duets
No,
that people are out here singing.
y'all, Meatloaf's "I Would Do Anything for Love" exists.
We had one person sing that once.
Yeah,
One
it wasn't
person.
me, was it?
No, it was not you.
Oh, I need to do it. I'm really good at that song. I can do both parts.
She doesn't even need a duet partner. She's doing both.
Got a great range. Though.
My favorite music artist. Favorite band
Mm-hmm.
is No Doubt. I love No Doubt.
Yeah.
Gwen Stefani, No Doubt Days was the best. I'm not a huge fan of her Blake Shelton times now, but No Doubt Days was her best time frame. And just like single artist, jeez. Do I have a single artist that I can listen to all day? Yeah, you can literally ask any of my friends from college ever. It's probably two. You can ask any of my friends from college. I could sit in the car right now and listen to Biggie and Tupac all day long, every day, and never get tired.
Oh yeah.
And
That's some good shit though.
never get tired.
Mm.
Favorite music genre. I grew up listening to like ska and reggae and like early hip hop and R&B, so I think that's like my thing. I'm not a huge fan of like new hip hop and stuff. I'm sorry to anybody who is. But like I can't get down with it. And I love EDM music. I am that person.
Nice.
But
I can't really get like if it's on the back, I'm fine with it, but I'm not seek out EDM only
I love it.
and just jam.
Like Calvin Harris, Diplo, Major Lazer, yes. Like all day long. I will blast that shit. Okay. Song that I'm currently obsessed with. Oh, and favorite album. Do you have a favorite album that is not Mbop?
Hey now. Yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite album?
About it. It's Michael Jackson's History, Volume 1 and 2.
Really? I thought you were gonna say
So
Selena.
Nah. A whole album? No.
Yeah.
I do like not the whole. There's some on there that are they're kind of snoozers.
What?
But I can, man, y'all, I can jam to Selena all day, every day. I have a collection of tumblers. I have a bag. Well, no, I have two bags with her on it. I now have a shirt. I'm not wearing it right now. That has Selena on it. We love her. She is our Tejano princess from South Texas, Yolanda fucking Saldivar.
Is the
Philip
Carol
keeps sending-
Baskin of Angela's time frame.
Yes. She keeps sending me all these. It's basically a Carol Baskins meme, but it's got Yolanda's face on. Fucking Yolanda Saldivar. She took our princess. But yeah, no, all of I don't know, because her her album that she was going
Yeah.
into English and didn't get to finish because she was killed. It's okay, but there's a couple songs in there that I'm not jamming. But Michael Jackson, seriously, History Volume 1 and 2 blows my mind because
Okay.
you go through all of his actual history and it's his good, like top hits or whatever. Billie Jean Beat It, all that stuff. And then you get to volume 2 and it's his 90s anger. There's a whole song about I would do anything for money. You would do anything, snitch on me. You would hate me. You would whatever for money. And just really talking about tabloids and how they're shit. And I was like, what the hell is this? And so I'm a child listening to this. And my mom, I remember going up to her and asking her what it was two different words. and I'm not going to say them here because they are very bad. And I asked her what they were, and she goes, those are racial slurs. Where the hell did you hear that? And I go,
Yikes.
I heard it in a Michael Jackson song. And she goes, okay, you're never allowed to hear those. And that's when we learned that parental guidance suggestions were on CD, and my mom could no longer just send me into Circuit City to buy my own music.
Right.
She really needed to go in there and look with me.
Makes sense.
Yeah. That's overall album, that one. Song I'm currently obsessed. It's Santa Fe from the Newsies. I am trying to figure out, because in my mind, that is in my range. But there are so many different parts of it that go between like keys and stuff, and I am bound and determined by this freaking quarantine to be able to sing it perfectly. The version from the movie, not from the Broadway.
Yes. Because in case you guys didn't know, Angela is obsessed with that movie.
It's so good, you guys. It's children fighting the man, trying to get their rights because they're selling newspapers and they shouldn't be. Anyway, it's so good. Disney. It's got Christian Bale singing and dancing. Okay. If you haven't seen Newsies from the 90s, you really should.
Favorite albums? I don't particularly have one.
Okay.
Natural Mystic by Bob Marley. 40 Ounce to Freedom from Sublime.
That one is so good. That's a fun one to hoop to.
Really?
Yeah. It's got good beats.
Infinity on High by Fall Out Boy is a fantastic album. And I think they did a really, really good job capturing their journey from just beginning to like what it was like to really have fame. I think they did a fantastic job with that.
Nice. We're supposed to be seeing them in August. If this shit doesn't get canceled.
I already saw Sublime with Rome, so that one's over with. I accomplished that dream. So I accomplished that dream.
Never got to see Michael. Never got to see Michael Jackson. Got to see Hanson way too many times.
And then Funk Wave Bounces by Calvin Harris. That shit is so bomb. I will play that album from start to finish, and every song is a fucking bop, you guys. Every song is a bop.
What was... Hold on. I gotta look this up on my phone, because there's one... As you're saying that, I was like, there is an album that every song is a bop, and it's in my... Daft Punk Random Access Memory.
Yes. Every song is a bop.
Every single one. And that's one, so like you've gotten... You understand my taste in music briefly, right? My brother sent me a text right before that one came out, and that was 2013. Here's the thing. I don't recommend a lot of music to you because you have such weird-ass taste. You will like every single song on this album. You need to just buy it. And I did, and he was absolutely...
Every song is a bop. Lose Yourself to Dance is my favorite song on that album.
It's so good. It's so good, guys.
It's so good. And then song... that I currently cannot like stop playing. I am constantly listening to on repeat. I don't. Now I gotta like look back through my history.
You don't have what's that thing called? Spotify? You don't have like a top list on your Spotify?
No, I don't use Spotify anymore. I use Apple Music because it came for free with my phone. So.
Same. I don't use Spotify because it's an extra app for me.
Yeah, and I'm not spending $9.99 or $14.99 or whatever the hell it is. Listen, I'm broke, y'all. Like,
yeah.
Jeez, songs that I play on repeat. This is 100% gonna get demonetized if I play this. Gosh,
Como la flor from Selena.
That's your most played song, really?
I need to learn that for karaoke because I'm good at that. Shakira.
Yes. Do it. Okay. Song that I play on repeat all the time. It is super duper sad. from Mac Miller's album Swimming. So this is the album that he put out right before he died. 2009 is such a beautiful song. Like, you have to listen to it. It is such
I don't think I know that.
beautiful, well-written song. And, like, between the lyrics and the actual, like, instrumental, it's beautiful. And I could listen to it, like, 6, 7, 8 times in a row and still be like, wow, this song is beautiful.
Found it. Nice.
So, yeah.
Yay. Yeah, there's the band that I think has beautiful music, like what you're saying, like it's just so beautiful. Instruments, lyrics, all of it's a band called Margot and the Nuclear So and So. Gorgeous, gorgeous music. And there's they cover all sorts of topics and stuff, but one of them, Jesus, what does it start? Jen is bringing me drugs. She wants to get real fucked up, and then it goes down and stuff. All of a sudden it's saying, like, if you don't live your life, who will live it for you? I'm still laying here on the floor. I can see light coming through my door. I have no energy to do whatever. But it's the way that they use the lyrics with the beats, with the instruments. You're just like in this whole world that they've created. It's real.
And then if we want to talk old music that I've been obsessed with, I have had this recent, like, I don't even know how to explain it.
Is it a resurgence? Has it come back to you?
I think so. It's basically like a resurgence. For some god-awful reason, I just want to listen to Metro Station and Taking Back Sunday repeatedly, and I don't fucking know why.
That's so funny because it's cozy music. You know exactly where it came from, what you're doing.
Right. I think maybe that's what it is. But, like, I could listen to Liar 100 times a day and it'd be like, this song is so dope. And then Metro Station, how could you not want to sit there and listen to Shake It all day long? It's such a fun song.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But what I was going to say to you is, if you're into, like, fun stuff and, like, groovy stuff that you can hoop to, but also, like, into music that you can share with your youth group children's, Root Down is really cool. They do ska. But there's some of their ska has, like, a religious message.
Root Down.
Good Day is a really good song by them. Really just, they do a lot of, like, really, like, positive kind of music.
Nice. That's what I like. Look, I have a huge... Okay, so cleaning houses, when I first started cleaning houses, I would bring my music to listen to, and I didn't realize the glory of headphones. So I was like, look, nobody's in this house. I can have my music playing on my phone on the counter. It's fine. And I was listening to Girl Talk. You ever listen to Girl Talk? Okay. So for those of you that don't know Girl Talk, it's this DJ, and he takes, like, hundreds of songs and combines little bits of them and samples them into, like, 12 tracks, that kind of thing. And it's just layers, and it kind of, each album kind of tells a story through the lines selected, and it's really neat. Dirty as, and a lot of cussing. And I had that playing, and one of my clients' kids came home, and she's little, and her mom was in the kitchen, and this child walks up, and it was quite a while of this music going on before this child was like, hey, Miss Angela. And I'm like, holy shit, how long have you been listening to my vulgar? And so then I had to start doing it, the Disney Pandora station.
Yeah.
Just in case. So I got real into Disney show tunes for movies I had never seen. So I know the entire Tangled soundtrack. I have never seen.
Such a good soundtrack.
It is. It's so good. Mandy Moore is so good. So I've got
Princess
that.
Frog soundtrack is bomb.
Yes. That, and haven't seen that either.
Listen.
But great soundtrack.
John and I had a whole conversation about this, and I don't know if he's still watching. If he is, he can pop in and talk about this. John and I had a whole discussion about how that is, like, the most underrated Disney movie I've ever seen. It is a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack is phenomenal, and Dr. Facilier is an underrated villain.
Ooh. See, it came out whenever it was that one, Tangled.
It was
There's
overshadowed
like two other ones that came out at the
because
same time.
it was overshadowed because it was that one, and that was the last, like, actually, like, drawn. So it was overshadowed by Tangled, Frozen, and Brave. It just,
Okay.
got swept away by those three. Personally, what happened to that movie is very similar to what happened to Pocahontas. Like, Pocahontas
Yes.
just got swept away by all these other big movies that came out. Princess and the
Yeah.
Frog was swept away by every other
Yeah.
movie that came out after that.
'Cause
Samantha
that's
says
the
she
only reason.
agrees 100%. Like,
The only reason I remember watching Pocahontas was because little best friend pal was a raccoon, and y'all, I'm obsessed with raccoons. They are the cutest
Miku.
freaking things. I have so many stuffed animal raccoons and little statues of raccoons, and I would love to have a raccoon. My cousin, I like them so much. My cousin Cheryl one time texted me and said, "Hey, we just saw a whole bunch of dead raccoons on the side of the road, and I thought of you." And now I'm realizing that's really messed up for me to let you know that I found a bunch of dead raccoons.
Oh,
Yes, it is. But yeah, so that's the only reason I remember seeing that movie and going, "Oh, this is Pocahontas." But yeah,
that was
I
my
need to watch
favorite.
the other
You
ones.
need to watch Princess Frog. Such a good movie. Tangled is a good movie too, but Princess Frog, the determination of Tiana in that movie, it wasn't even about, like, when people are like, oh, in Frozen she didn't need a man. Tiana didn't need a man either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she frequently told her mom throughout the movie, like, I don't have time for that kind of shit. I'm trying to make my business.
Oh,
So
okay.
definitely a very good movie. And they just drowned that movie with Brave and Frozen and Tangled.
Nice.
To be fair,
Real quick.
I don't think Tangled is a good movie.
No? Oh, but the music's catchy.
Not into it.
Oh man. Okay. No, I'll redo this later. My cousin Bud's sending me text messages about the National Theatre in London streaming free plays every week, and they're doing 12th night right now. So yeah. Did you have any other questions about music or anything like that before we get off it? Because I think
No.
we've taken up enough of these people's time.
Yeah.
They enjoyed us. I enjoyed our chat.
Yes. No. But we will be back Sunday. So if you guys have any other questions, or if you guys want to talk to us about music, pop some questions in. Who knows?
Please.
Maybe we
Clearly
can give
we
you some.
like it.
Yeah, we love music. But yeah, no, I don't have anything else. Sunday, I can't remember who we're talking about.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask you because I don't have it written down.
Hold on, let me grab the book really quick. It's right here.
There's, well, I have you guys alone. There's a song, and I can't remember who is it by, but it's this guy, and it's walking in the dance hall, looking with you. I said, hey mama, goes to you. Rocking in the dance hall, rocking with you. I said, hey papa, goes to you. It's that song, and it is good. And that's one of those songs that I can put on anytime,
Ooh,
and it
that's
makes
a
me
good
happy.
question. Marissa says, who's our favorite musicians from the 27 Club? Who is your favorite musician from the 27 Club?
I really, because I'm in that Michael Jackson Hanson world, none of these really apply
None
to
of them
me.
appeal to you.
We're gonna put it that way. What I like about them is the case and all the shit that goes into it, and then learning about them and their
Right.
background and everything. And when it comes to that, Kurt Cobain,
Okay.
because it's just such, again, one of those situations where it's like, this was totally preventable.
Right.
Someone could have stepped in and done something. Same thing with Michael Jackson. Totally, someone could have stepped in and told the band fucking no at some point. If people would just tell celebrities no sometimes, maybe this shit wouldn't happen. What?
My favorite musicians from the 27 Club are Kurt Cobain and Janis Joplin. And if you ever come to karaoke again, you'll get to hear
Listen
my
to some
Janis
Janis.
Joplin. I do it all the time.
I know.
Yeah. And Kurt Cobain, for a long time, I was really, really, really obsessed with that case. Like, I love Nirvana. But I do think that a lot of people make that question, like, you know, like, how would music be today if Nirvana was still around? Well, if we still had Nirvana, we wouldn't have Foo Fighters, and sorry,
Yeah.
but Foo Fighters is dope.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that Kurt Cobain had to die for that to happen.
I know.
But yeah, I love Nirvana. I am really into that whole grunge thing. One of my best friends who passed away, I used to really dress 90s grunge, and he would tell me the 90s called and they want their clothes back. Like,
Aww.
I'm really into that whole, like, 90s grunge thing. And then Janis Joplin's just fucking fantastic. Come on.
Yep.
And her voice and, like, her music style,
Yeah.
wild. And yeah, it's because she was on heroin, but, like, wild. Like, wild. All right. And so on Sunday, it's a good thing that we looked, because this is a dual episode. Yikes. On Sunday, we will be covering Brian Jones and Alan Blind Owl Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
So Brian Jones from Rolling Stones and Alan Blind Owl.
Which one am I doing?
You are doing Brian Jones.
Thanks.
And then, Alan Wilson, who is from, what band is that? Another British band. Yeah, Canned Heat.
Yeah, Can't Eat.
Yeah, from Canned Heat. So that's who we are covering this week. Flip, do you ever sing Amy Winehouse? Yes, I do sing Amy Winehouse. Most of the time people just want to hear me sing Valerie, because that's, like, the only, like, upbeat thing that she really did.
Mm-hmm.
But I do that. I do You Know I'm No Good. I would like to do Back to Black more often, but that doesn't happen too often. But yeah, that's what
I dressed up as Amy Winehouse for Halloween one year. You'll get to see that when we get to her.
Definitely popping those pictures in here. And during Kurt Cobain's episode, I will wear my Kurt Cobain sunglasses. Yes. I own them. Little white sunglasses. Yeah.
I'm just so bummed that we can't play you guys some of this music, because I'm sitting here going, you know what else is a good song? Bombastic by Shaggy. Or it's,
yes.
Mr. Lover. Mr. Lover. They call me Mr. Bombastic.
Every once in a while, I'll have somebody who comes in and does that in karaoke. It's so funny.
That's the best.
Right? Okay,
One
guys.
of my favorites was still that guy that did Barbie Girl very poorly.
Oh, the biker guys. Yeah.
It was so good. It was so funny.
Every once in a while, our homies from the biker gangs will step in and they'll do some fun stuff for us.
Why not, Barbie Girl?
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it, you guys. So, with that being said, we'll see you guys on Sunday.
Yes, please join us on Sunday for 2 new cases for the 27 Club. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can email us at crushedandpresspodcast@gmail.com. Please tell us your little hometown murders, spooky ghost stuff, whatever you want. We would love to share it on these episodes.
We'd love to share it.
Imagine we sit here and go, I got an email from a listener. It said, wouldn't that be fun? You should send in those emails so we can do that.
Definitely, please do. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, Marissa says, bye, fun gals. Bye. Any questions, comments, concerns, you can also drop those in our emails. If we said something wrong or whatever, let us know. Nice. Drop it in a comment, send us an email, whatever. If you don't like us, don't tell us that. That'll hurt our feelings.
Yeah, keep it to yourselves, please. Just stop coming in. Just don't stay here with us. You can just leave it.
Please don't hurt my feelings.
I'm very sensitive.
All right, you guys, have a wonderful night. Stay safe and sickness free.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
And we got music?
Yeah.
Thank you to the Last Electric Rodeo Band for letting us use their song Bronze Age of Horror. You can find more of their music at lastelectricrodeo.com. Search YouTube. Find those music videos. They're fun. I'm in. If you find me, let me know.
Yeah, it'll be fun. All right, guys.
Yay.
Peace out. Have a good night.
Bye.
lonesome unhaunted hill where the Bronze Age monsters go to chew. Now golden and silver age and not to be spited. I'm sorry to say, but she's just not invited. Mountain Mash is a thing of the past. To get into his body, you need no glass. Our jukebox is never out of order. We are the Bronze Age of horror.
It's not Halloween if it's April Fool, 'cause critters rule and ghoulies drool. So talk to the hand, leather face. Make way for the killer clowns from outer space.
Bronze Age of horror. I'm a toxic avenger. I'm a hellboy. Where's my army of darkness? Come on, make some noise. It's a swamp thing. It's a native life. Pumpkinhead with a fork and Chucky with a knife. Monster Mash isn't big of a past. To get into this body, you need no class. You didn't know we're right around the corner. We are the Bronze Age of horror.
I give the ring the finger. Blair Witch can be my Freddy, Jason, you're just alright. But we're hanging with the gremlins just after midnight.
We are the Bronze Age of horror. The Bronze Age of horror.
Underworld was overrated, and Blade made me wanna be sedated. Ghostface just made me mad. I only scream 'cause it sucks so bad. Who's grateful for the Walking Dead? And Twilight could suck up. Buffy wasn't a total bummer.